So it's Saturday. We have an impending storm coming today. The state of Pennsylvania has declared a state of emergency as of noon today, and it is currently 2:42. Storm's coming in. Don't know whether it's how much snow it's going to be, how much rain, how much freezing rain it's going to be. But I have one thing that I need to get done, and that is put our cabinet doors on the Galley today. And do a little plumbing work. And the reason for that is later this week, Beth and I are getting out of here. We're going to go escape the cold, head south. We don't know where we're going yet, but we know we're leaving Thursday, coming home sometime Tuesday. She has to be at work Tuesday evening, so we know we have to have her home by like 3 o'clock on Tuesday. However, you know, we're going to just go far enough south that we just get a break from the cold. Today it's not too bad. It's right around freezing, 33 degrees. Tomorrow it's going to warm up a couple of degrees while the rain goes through, but then we're apparently supposed to have this flash freeze, they call it now. And Monday it's going to be down in the single digits here, so Wednesday, or actually Wednesday night and Thursday, can't come soon enough so we can get out of here and just head south, maybe Georgia, maybe Florida, just far enough south that we can get a couple of days where we can take the jackets off, grill something outside, go enjoy some decent weather, and just warm up a little bit before we come back home and try to get through the next month of winter. So I have some things I have to get done on the van. Beth is washing things inside feverishly because she has work this weekend. She has to work tonight. And I need to get everything done in the van today and tomorrow because I don't want to be out here working in the van when it's in the single digits. So forgive the lights that I have in here today because I have pulled the Goal Zero battery out of the van. I have it sitting inside charging. Well, it's fully charged at this point, but A, in case I need a backup to our generator for the house, and B, it's just been so cold. I don't like it sitting in the van and its core getting down below freezing. So I've been just storing it inside as long as we're not traveling with the van or needing it for any extensive backup power. So that's in there, and I have an extension cord running from the house out to the van right now. So I have the heater going in here. I have some drop lights going. But my goal today is get these Galley cabinet doors on. These are the cabinet doors that we made last weekend, put the trim on, and I'm going to hinge these two doors up so we can not have to have like cloth covering them over. I'm going to be putting 3 hinges on each of these doors because the doors are a little bigger than the others we have in the van, and I'm going to be opening from this side out on each of those. So this one, since it's the one that has the water jugs in it, this one I want to be able to open out this way so I can easily get the water jugs out. So when you're putting the cabinet doors on, the direction you have them opening and closing matters. And sometimes you have to get a little creative. If you recall back on this one, this is our full-length cabinet. I won't put that camera up too far because the light is there, but you can see this cabinet we have open up from this way around, and the one above is on the other side and it comes back this way. And that was because this shelf is there, so the top cabinet opens up right over the top of this shelf. It just clears, so I can open it up fully. And I didn't want to be opening up the upper cabinet right into this area here and closing it off. So I wanted to be able to open it up this way. And this one down here, because this cabinet comes out a little bit, I wanted to open it up back towards this way. So we never tried to actually, we never accidentally opened it up too far and somebody ran into it and you ended up cracking something on the corner of that with the cabinet door. So sometimes you have to get a little creative. I've seen comments on the video that I made when I made this cabinet here that I have to agree with. It was really tough doing that because it just didn't seem right to have 2 cabinet doors opening in different directions. But honestly, that's kind of the van thing in the first place. You know, if I wanted something that was exact and machine done, I would have gone out and spent $100,000 on a Class B vehicle versus just building my own. I think when you have them, when you've built things that are custom to exactly your flow and what you're doing, to me that's kind of the goal of your own van build. So actually I got over it really quick. That was really tough when I first put those cabinet doors on, opening in different directions, but in 24 hours that was gone, and it actually worked great. So let's get these hinges on this door or both these doors, and so we can move on before the storm hits. And I'm going to put 2 of these hinges on there, and I'm going to make sure these hinges fall. I'm not overly concerned with having them exact on the door. I'm more concerned with, I have screw here, and so I'm more concerned with having the hinge fall midway here, so I know I have good places to screw into, because these are hidden hinges. They're going to go on like so. So the only thing it's going to, there'll be a little bit stick out of the back of the door, but that's really about it. So this is more about getting the right bite than anything. Feeling the love on the right height. So I'm feeling like that's about right. Figure out where I'm going to just close these and make sure everything's going to lay nice. Which it is. So what I'm going to do is get a little piece of wood and use down there, down on the floor. So I want to get a little piece of wood, put it down here on the floor as a spacer, so when I put this on there, I know I'm going to be the right height. So what I'm doing is, this trim that I used on the doors, I took a piece of scrap of that trim and I've laid it on the floor, and I've set this cabinet door on there so it gives me the right gap down at the floor. Put this, and I've got it lined up with my 2 hinges in the back here, and then just lined it up and took a look at how the other hinge for the next door is going to line up, and then just kind of slide that down to make sure it stays the same distance away, so my cabinet doors aren't cockeyed before I go screwing anything in. So I have my spacer under there, and now, as you can see, I do have the first screw in on each of the hinges, just to make sure that I have my spacing. And I've got my spacer underneath, so if I pull this guy out and test my door, I'm looking pretty good. So I have the first cabinet door is on, and it's laying nice and level. I kind of like it. Let me get you focused in there a little bit. And it's laying nice, it hangs nice. The van is on a slight downhill, so if I open him up all the way, you'll see he's starting to come forward a little bit, and that's fine. That tells me he's good and level. And closes nice, and we'll put some sound deadening in the latch on there, and we have some nice handles. I'll end up putting on this nice handle on here, just like we have on the rest of them, and we're good to go. Okay, so this one, since it's a bigger door, this is a much wider door that we're going to put on this opening to cover under the sink. I went with 3 hinges on this one just to support the extra weight, and I mean, they're easy enough to do, so I kind of measured it up and spaced them out evenly. There's both of my doors that are on. You'll notice on this bigger door I put a crossbar across the center of it, and we did the 3 hinges on this one, but that's, now that used to be a cloth, and now that's nice and level on there, and I don't have a cloth that's just kind of waving in the wind. And this guy. So now all I got to do is put some door handles on there. Some Velcro that keeps them closed. They are pretty good and level. The gap going down the center is pretty good. Everything's pretty straight on there. Even out here on the edge, coming up the edge of this. And there you have it. Both my doors on with their handles. And no more, focus up there, no more of the, like this Tommy Bahama look is really good, but it's better for a cushion than what we were using it for as curtains over top of that. That just kind of really looked ratchet, and I'm really glad to be done with that. So anyway, one of the other things we did in the van this weekend was this cushion itself kept falling off every time we went around a bend since the cold weather has started. I don't know why it wasn't really a bad problem when it was hot out, but it seems like ever since it got cold, that cushion keeps sliding off. So what Beth did was she took some of the stuff from inside the cabinet that keeps the plates and so forth still, and just laid that on there, and that has worked. And she's also made some little, just for now to get us through winter till we can come up with a better, more permanent solution, some burlap bow ties she put on the handles, and so far that has held really well. So we have our cabinet doors on, and final preparations have begun to have the van ready for our head south trip. We did get it serviced earlier this week, so it's got fresh oil in it. All the fluids have been checked. The dealer says they checked it with the idea that we're going to head south, perhaps hitting Florida. So we're ready for a long road trip. Cabinet doors are on, handles are on. Inside we've got things we're prepping, little holders and containers, getting all of that ready. And I think we're going to be good to go, ready for a midwinter vacation, which was part of the goal of this, is to have something we can get out of here when the temperatures start hitting single digits and teens, which on Monday the high is supposed to be 16 with a low of like 2. And that's a signal to us that it's time for us to bail for a couple of days and just go far enough south where we can get out of the van and grill something, and just put your flip-flops on perhaps, or at least take the coats and the hats and the gloves off and just be able to relax and enjoy the outside a little bit. So that's the goal there. But anyway, so that's what I have. We'll check in probably mid or later on in this week when we start heading south, and until then, happy Martin Luther King weekend, everybody, and we'll see you on down the road. Peace. So there's what's coming right now. You can see my little blue ping. It has come.